Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming here today. And can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Not online people? All good? Yes, you can hear me.
Yep.
So today, we are like combining two sessions together. Sorry for the delay because it was like there's a miscommunication. Like I thought it's starting at 7, so that's why I combined them. So sorry about that.
Sorry back. Yeah.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, can you see me? Yes. In your lives, what is the purpose of your lives?
To fulfill the things that we came and agreed to prior to reincarnation.
So our lives, we have different purposes to fulfill things that we want to do. You have bucket lists, like to fulfill. Everybody has this. Everybody is trying to achieve something out of their lives. But it seems they achieve so many things, ladies and gentlemen. But there's something that you have to think about here, that when you think about your life, you always have some missing pieces, isn't it? You always have a void. You're trying to fulfill that void. You're trying to fulfill that void that you experience, but you have done so many things, like the years that you lived, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, now everybody is like around 50, 60 years, right? So you lived your life and you were trying to fill like your voids, your needs, your wants, your expectations. But the problem here is every moment you have something to do, something there's a wanting. You are trying to fulfill it. Each and every moment there's a wanting. There's something missing. You are trying to do that. You are trying to achieve something. You might have come across in your life sometimes you might have felt that you don't know what you want. You're trying to find out what do you want. I feel something is missing. I don't know what to do. To watch a drama, to watch a movie, or to go to a restaurant, or to go with somebody. You don't know, but there's something void, something missing, something vexation mentally that you are not settled. So the purpose of this talk is actually, ladies and gentlemen, you have to go back to your life, because throughout your life what you have been doing is looking at the outside. Right? Throughout your life what you have been doing is looking at the outside. Right at the moment also, including these online people, and you are looking at the outside. The purpose of this session is to think about yourself, to look into yourself, deep delve into yourself, analyze yourself within yourself. This is something that you haven't done in your life. Insight, right? Because this is something you have to do as a human being, ladies and gentlemen, because dog and animals, the animals, they can't do that. They don't have a way to think about themselves. They do whatever they feel, and that's it. When you were born as a human being, you got this opportunity in your mind to experience the world. At the same time, there's a plugging in your mind that you can think about yourself. That's the major difference between you and an animal. But the thing is, like all animals, we haven't used that plug-in, the add-on that you have. And what you have been doing is just looking at the outside, and you are trying to fix the outside world problems. When you go and think about, ladies and gentlemen, think about the people, like what they are doing. Everybody is trying to find solution for the problems. There are so many problems in the world. Everybody is solving puzzles, solving problems. Everybody is doing a battle of solving problems. Think about your lives.
That could be the problem.
That is the problem, because you are not, this is the problem. You don't know what is the truth, what is the real problem. You are dealing with the like symptoms. You don't treat to the root cause of the problem. It's like, you know, that sometimes that this is the headquarter of the enemy's headquarter, and there are some other camps out there which is controlled by the headquarter, right, HQ, and you are trying to, you are attacking to these sub camps without attacking to the main camp. If you haven't attacked to the main camp, this is the terrorist group, right? If you haven't attacked to the main camp, this will come again and again and again. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, throughout your life, each and every moment you are trying to do something. You are solving so many problems, but I'll bet that even at your dying breath, you will be solving problems.
But it's
So
attributing the energy to the right place.
Yes, the thing is, even at your dying breath, since you are trying to find solutions for your problem, you can't rest in peace. No, that's the thing. You can't rest in peace because you pass away in the middle of finding a solution. Right? That's the misery. In the middle of finding a solution, you will pass away, and then again you will come back to finish that problem. Your life is something, ladies and gentlemen, always to be continued. You know, have you seen the dramas and the movies? Not movies. To be continues.
Sex and the City.
Yes, Sex and the City. Yes, it's to be continued.
Coming back. Yeah, reincarnation.
I mean, no matter what you do, you will come back again to find solutions. That's why you can see so many animals and so many living beings in this world. Not only you, not only human beings, there are so many spirits and living beings in the world. Even though you don't believe it or not, spirits are there, but there are animals, right? You can see there are so many living organisms exist in the world. They are also trying to find solutions for their problems. You know, your life is a battle, right? That battle, you're playing that game. You're doing that battle, ladies and gentlemen. But you're not attacking to the headquarter of the problems. Because of that, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot win this game. Even at your dying breath, you will be fail. Right? It's a fail, ladies and gentlemen. The thing, then I have seen so many people, like I went across the world, and I have seen so many people, like even at their, I visited some, aged care centers. There are so many people who had beautiful, colorful lives, but at their dying breath, they are suffering to the maximum because now they don't have anything that they have done.
They're also scared of dying.
Exactly. This is what happened to... Yes, because they don't know what's their purpose, and this is what's going to happen to you as well. Think about, this is your future. I know that everybody pass away, right? Everybody will go to that situation, right? Right? Then are you getting ready for that, or are you still go blind eyes? No. Nothing will happen to me, and I'll stay. No, ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm telling this. I'm saying this to you, that we have to think about our lives and we have to find the true meaning of our lives. We need to isolate why we were born as a human being, and is that the thing that what we are right now, what we are doing right now, is that the thing that we have to do as a human being? This is something you have to think, this is something you have to find out, this is something you have to realize. There are so many religions, there are so many philosophies, there are so many like systems, like science. Different sciences explain the theories of everything in the world. But the ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing. You need to understand how your mind works to isolate what's going on with you. If you want to find out what's going on with you, then you need to find out how your mind is working. The perception, what you feel, what you experience, what you sense, how does it work? This is something we have to realize. This is something you have to understand. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to find all these solutions for all the problems. I mean, think about. There are so many. What is it? Permanent marker?
Hang on a minute. I'm going to spray that because I'm not going to spray you.
Okay. Can you all see this whiteboard? Yes.
Oh, well, it says whiteboard markers.
It says whiteboard marker. Yes. Could you please give me that? Yes, I think that's. Yeah, I think it's working.
I was going to ask something. Sorry to interrupt, but when you mentioned about the nursing homes and how people don't know about what's ahead, the afterlife, but then I was thinking about that and I thought, well, of course we all have that element of, I mean, I would assume we all have that element of fear because we don't know, might not always be aware of what lies ahead, but then again, I don't know, it sounds a bit irrelevant maybe, but then we didn't know anything, we knew nothing even before we were born, did we?
No, it happened.
You know what I mean?
No, this is the thing, sir. Even though you don't know, like what you had 3 nights before dinner, you lived that back then, right? That is your experience. You experience something like 3 nights before. You don't know what you had 3 nights before, you forgot it. You forgot doesn't mean that you haven't lived.
No, I mean like before we were actually...
Exactly. Life before, the same thing, but we don't know. Right. Something that you don't know, that you can't tell, you can't say. If you imagine this, you don't know what happened 3 days ago. You forget it, right? But it doesn't mean that you haven't lived. You faced that situations, right?
Doesn't mean that you didn't make the sausages and chips.
So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, think this. Like even in future, it will happen. You have to face. You have to face what that reality that comes to you. You can't escape from it.
What, death, you know?
No, not even the death. Even if you're born again, right?
I understand it, so,
yeah. No, even if you don't, even at your death, after you born, like let's say after death, let's say you will be born again, right? You have to face it, right? Exactly. Something you don't know, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? For example, like 400 years ago, nobody believed that there are microorganisms, but there were, right? 𝗘𝗃𝗃 found it, and then after that they realized, okay, microorganisms exist. Something like that happens to here as well. Even though we think our life is like this, okay, this is the human life, we enjoy it, and after that we will be end. No, ladies and gentlemen, it won't happen in that way. Because that we all have this problem. There's a huge problem in our mind, in our perception, that because of that problem, that because of that issue that you have, you will be born again and again and again. Not only born again, all the sufferings, fear, grief, anger, the negative emotions that you experience will come again and again.
Until you confront them.
And exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing. Your mind has this problem, but you don't know that you have that thing, the problem. It's like a crazy man wouldn't be able to find himself that he is crazy. Right? If you go and ask from a mental hospital, they will say, what? No, that man is crazy. Who? Is there any crazy people here? Yes. That guy is crazy. Who? The doctor. Right? So something similar here. Everybody in the world, like, everybody experiences negative emotions, right? Mental pressure. All the solutions that we have been taken so far to cure this mental pressure. You have an insurance because why? Because of the fear factor. Right? Insurance companies are using yourself, right? Because insurance companies are offering insurances. For what? Because you are scared. Right? Exactly. And advertising companies, they advertise products, right? That makes your life easier. It's not actually, it actually not making your life easier. It helps you to eradicate mental pressure quickly. Not eradicate, to release. It's a bandage. All the products in the society, that what the science and technology develops, the products that science and technology developed so far, is to release you from the mental vexation, mental pressure. It's like a fire brigade. When you have the fire, you call the fire brigade comes, extinguish the fire, then it's done. But next day, you know what happened? There will be fire again, you call the fire brigade come and extinguish the fire. Since you are calling again and again, now fire brigade is now establishing in the next door. You just have, now fire is there, you call, fire brigade is in the next door, not in the town. So fire brigade, you are bringing the fire brigade closer. Right? Bringing the fire brigade closer is not the solution for the problem. Because you need to find out how fire is manifesting, how fire is happening in the house. Right? Suffering, fear, anger, grief. All these negative emotions are happening in the mind. Yes, madam, come. Fire. You can sit here. Yeah. Negative emotions happens in the mind because of the negative emotions happens in the mind because of there's a root problem. But we are dealing with the outside. Throughout your life, if somebody scolds you, you scold back. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You can see countries are fighting each other. There's a battle. All wars. Do you think that they will win the war? No, ladies and gentlemen, you can't win a war. You can see there's a huge fights going on in the countries, and all these problems, this chaos that happens in the world, around the world, is because of this great deception. We are going to unveil it, we are going to find it out, we are going to surface it throughout this session.
It's like Mother Teresa was asked, would she go to an anti-war campaign? And she said, no. Invite me to a peace campaign and I'll be the first one there. Put your energy where you want the result.
Exactly. Exactly. So everybody is trying to find out. Everybody is trying to find solution for the problem. Right? They have so many problems. Think about today I met a lady that she told me that she broke up, right? And then she has to go to a gathering, her community gathering, that whatever her partner is, the previous ex-partner is also coming there with another girlfriend, right? How can she face that situation? This is the thing, this is the problem now she has. I mean, you might have come across this kind of situations, you might have come across this kind of problems, right?
She feels she's lost faith.
She feels that she's lost.
So she needs to take a stud with her and turn up with him.
Right? Right?
Throw a stink bomb.
Right? That's why when you crave, when you have a vexation, when you have a mental vexation, you don't know what to do. You go and try to find solutions. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, anxiety support groups. So people who have anxiety, they get together, they try to help each other. If you have the problem, if you don't know how to come out of it, how can you find a solution with another person who would have the same problem? It's like beggars get together and try to help themselves. You can see that everybody is fighting up there, like to the mental pressure. Nobody is looking at where this mental pressure comes from. What is the process that generates the mental pressure? There's a hidden process in the mind, ladies and gentlemen, that generates mental pressure. There's a hidden process. Nobody knows it, but everybody has it, everybody is experiencing it. Until you find out that, until you kill that root process by yourself, you will have to face the situations again and again and again. It's like a cancer. It's like a cancer in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. It springs out again and again and again and again. You can experience your life, right? When you go in front of the favorite, your restaurant, what will happen to you? You start, the whatever the monster that lives in your mind comes out, and it yells and it screams, and then you just have to do what? Just go and buy what you want. When wanting happens in the mind, nobody knows how it happens. You act for that. When you act for that, you are now nurturing that wanting. Again and again, it will come out again and again. I can't see your face, madam. Yes. If you can. Because I need to see your face, eye contact. Because this is something like active listening. Because I know that everybody participates here, then I want you to, connect with me. That's why, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about your life. All these, from day in and day out, you are living your life to find solutions. You are earning and earning and earning, you're hoarding and hoarding so many things at your house. Are you satisfied, or you are still to be satisfied?
I'm pretty satisfied.
To be satisfied, right? Yeah, satisfied with so many things, but the thing is that you think that you have those things, you have to maintain them, right? Because of the mental vexation, you brought so many things to your world, but you can't, you have to maintain them. Things that you have brought to your life, you have to maintain them. You have to keep them, you have to keep going them. That's why you have to work and you have to maintain your life. Think about relationships. You have to maintain. If you haven't maintained the relationship, then you know what will happen.
But some people, they enjoy doing that, so they don't feel the vexation.
No. Vexation is there. Vexation is there, it's hidden.
Not always.
No, this is something like vexation is there, but you release it by doing that action. Because when you're maintaining it, mental vexation is there, but you won't feel that vexation because it releases quickly, because you're maintaining it.
Oh, you're doing a quick fix is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
Instant solutions. For example, think about when don't you have like, an habit. You always check your phone. You take your phone and check your phone, right? I mean, you're taking your phone not because that you actually really need to check your phone, but you're taking your phone because now there's a void here. You feel you need to do something. That's why you're doing something.
Although
For example,
when you leave it behind, accidentally, you think, oh well,
yeah.
it'll wait. Yeah.
So do you mean that because our mind asks us to do something all the time, and that take to the action of maintaining, of doing something?
Yes, and because of that action, you feel satisfaction. Because you feel, I did something. Right? When you check your phone, okay, I did something. Like, for example, if you're waiting, let's say you went to train station, for example, I don't know whether you don't have train here, right? Okay, let's say bus stop. Let's do the bus stop, right? Let's say you went to the bus stop and you have 10 minutes. Now what do? You take the phone, or if you can see there's a shop nearby, then you will go there. You think that you have to do something, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I ask a question about that though? We are creative beings, so it's within our DNA that we want to do something.
No. That's because
we are vehicles of expression.
Yes, the thing is, that's the thing. Nobody knows the problem. Because of that, people address it. People explain it as it's okay, it's normal. Wanting is something normal because everybody has it, so nobody knows it's something a problem.
I'm talking about doing, not wanting.
We can do. I'll show you.
But when you pull out your phone, it's just to amuse your mind, to keep your mind occupied.
Because you exactly.
Well, that's habitual.
Exactly, madam. You always want to keep occupied your mind to something activity. That's why when you are alone, you start actually either listening to music or you feel this void, something to fill.
So you talk about meditation.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Got that far.
Even meditation is something you are trying to do to get rid of the vexation. When you meditate, what you are doing is, when you are meditating, what you are doing is, you are calming down the mind. Because of that, you won't feel that vexation. And after you get out of the meditation, then what will happen? You will be back in the same journey. So after 10-day meditation retreat, I know those days, my grandmother, right, she is going to the meditation retreat. So when he went to the meditation retreat, my grandfather says, okay, now I can happily live for 10 days. Right? And then you know what happened? After 10 days, when she returned, my grandfather said, okay, now 3 more days, it will be okay because of the effect of the meditation. She will be back again the same routine after 3 days. People are trying to find solution for mental pressure, ladies and gentlemen. The easiest way is to performing an action.
Yeah.
The other way is to tolerate. Right? Even you tolerate, it will come back again. When you perform the action, like let's say you want something, KFC or whatever, right? You have a wanting. Then what will happen? You go and eat. For that time, you feel, it's gone. But you know what will happen, right? Next moment, it will come in another way. Now you have a vexation to watch a movie. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, people, when they are watching a movie, they are also eating popcorn, right? So while you are watching a movie, you are eating popcorn. You don't feel that something wrong there. You feel, see, everybody has the problem. Why bother? Nobody knows that. Nobody thinks that's a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, the mental vexation is there.
Is it really a problem though? Because if it wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't happen.
Pardon?
My question is, if it wasn't meant to be there, the energy, it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen, but you can't avoid that. Because
That's what I mean. It must be meant to be there then.
Yeah.
exactly, but the thing is, you know, whatever that life brings to you, right, it's not that you are doing, it brings to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I am telling you. There's a great deception, there's a great problem here that you have to surface it, you have to isolate it. When you isolate it, then you will start to understand what I'm talking about. I'll show you, I'll explain it slowly. Right? Because this is not something that you know. This is something underneath, something hidden, something beneath in the mind. This process happens. Every human being, every living being in this world, a person who has a mind, they have this. If you have a mind, yes, of course you have the problem. Because mental pressure is actually arising in the mind because of that, the hidden process. Right? Okay. Before I moving into that thing, I want you to think about this. Can you hear this clap?
I can feel it. I didn't hear it.
Felt it, yeah.
You feel it, right? Right?
The vibration.
Clapping sound? Yes. Okay, now tell me what happened here. When these two surfaces collide each other, whatever the energy collides each other, that generates a vibration. That generates a vibration pattern, right? After that vibration happens, after that vibration comes to your ear and then brain, then you start to experience that clapping sound. Agree? So this is the
A learned response.
incident, and then after the cascade of reaction, business of sensing happens. You know, sensing. Okay? Can you all see this?
Yes.
Incident comes first and then sensing happens. The moment you sense a clapping sound, right? That moment you sense the clapping sound, is this clapping incident is there or it's gone?
Yeah.
Gone, because you know why? This is the cascade of reaction. This happens and ding, 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 ding. When you sense, it's not there. In your daytime, in the daytime, if you go out and see the sun, right? Are you seeing the sun that exists right now, or it is the sun that 8 minutes and 40 seconds ago? It's not the live sun that you are watching at. Right? Similarly, whatever the incident happens, then that brings to your mind. This is the mind. Mind sense whatever that happens. Right? Incident happens, then sensing happens. Incident happens, sensing happens. Now think about this. Sensing, the perception, this is the perception, right? I'm using different terms to get across this message to you. Perception cannot have expectation of this sound, whatever the incident. Because perception arises and passes away after the incident. Do you understand my point?
What do you mean you can't have expectation?
the perception itself can't have expectation, okay, I should hear sound. No, because whatever the incident happens first, and that cascade of reaction triggers the perception. Initially, incident happens, then sounding happens in your mind. That when the moment that you experience a sound, that sounding experience can't have expectation to experience a sound, because now everything is set, everything is happened, and you just have to experience it. Do you understand this point? This is
Expectation is for something that's going to happen in the future.
that's the thing.
You know that clap's going to come. You can expect it when you know there's going to be a clap.
Wait.
Okay.
I am isolating. I am isolating one minding moment here. One mind moment, one perception moment, and I have isolated a one perception moment, because this is to simplify what's going on here, right? And then
The perception have an expectation anyway. Because the perception happens after the event.
exactly, but don't you feel expectation?
What?
Don't you feel expectation?
What do you mean?
Don't you have expectations?
You have expectations.
Well, I expect to hear a few more claps in my life.
Yeah, no, not claps. But yeah. But we do have expectations, isn't it? We do have expectations. Okay, wait. Let's analyze this, and I'll show you why we have expectations.
It depends on the circumstance. If you were going to a concert, you would have expectation you were going to hear vibration and sound.
Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
that's no. That expectation you experience, it's because of the problem. It's because of the root cause. Because of the problem that I'm referring to. We'll show you. We'll isolate it. We'll show you.
Okay.
Good things comes to those who wait. Right? Incident happens, and then sensing happens. Incident happens, perception happens. The moment that perception happens, that perception can't control the incident, because perception or whatever the minding moment happens after the incident.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then now, ladies and gentlemen, now you can see.
It's for future events.
Yeah, wait, give me a minute. Now you can see me, right?
Yeah.
You can see my figure, whatever the image. The moment that you experience that image, whatever the reaction that happens here with the light and the skin, the electrons have excited and it comes back, and then it emits the light rays and it comes to your eye, it goes to your brain. All this incident has to happen in order to experience that image that right now you are experiencing. Then are you experiencing live, or this is something happened right now?
Something else happened with delay.
After the incident you experience. Mind arises and passes away after the incident, right? Mind can't control the incident, because mind is a mere minding moment. That minding moment exists only in that moment of, it's a momentary, it's very transient. People feel, you feel there's a one mind like this, right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's not true. Mind is something like this. It arises and passes away, arises and passes away, arises and passes away, arises and passes away. It is not something constant. It's not something there. A unit entity is there.
Yes, otherwise it would flatten out.
Exactly. And also the other whiteboard marker still. Now what happened here is, right now, this process happens with you each and every moment. Each and every moment is an experience, moment of experience, moment of experience, moment of experience. That means one mind happens. That means one mind happens and pass away, and then another mind happens, pass away, another mind happens, pass away. Right? This is the process that happens, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever the incident happens, there's no control to this mind. Because this is what is being presented to the mind. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, even though you feel that you are looking at me, you are looking at colors, you are watching at colors, you are looking, you are doing an action, but you can't stop perceiving colors.
Yeah.
Right now, when you close your eyes and try not to see black color. Even you close your eyes, you will see black color. I mean, color perception happens in the mind. You can't escape from it. Even though you are in the middle of the sound zero chamber, you will experience what? Sound. You know that some people, when they isolated, then they have put into the sound zero chambers, they have mentioned that they start to hear, the blood flows from this, the veins. So that means you can't escape from sound. You can't escape from sensing business. The funny thing, ladies and gentlemen, this perception or sensing business cannot generate any heat. It cannot generate any pressure. It is something, a coolest process in the world. Right now you have that. Mind is a process. Mind is not an entity. That process is the coolest process in the world. Very pure. There's no problem at all. It's very smooth. But the thing is, you have mental pressure. Then how that pure mind get defiled to experience these negative emotions? Mind arises and passes away without any expectation. It's only because of the incident, the perception happens, that's it. The perception doesn't have any control of the incident because this is happened and then it happens.
Is it the reaction to the perception where mental pressure is? Is the reaction?
Not the reaction.
Okay.
Not the reaction. But the thing is, because of... I'll explain that.
Sorry, I wrote it down.
Yeah. Right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So actually, ladies and gentlemen, the characteristic of a reaction is, when reaction happens, you can't control the reaction because action has already happened. Right? Now, perception is not an action, it's a reaction. That's why you can't control it. Because you can't escape from sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, thoughts.
Feelings.
That means feelings.
Yeah.
Emotions. So, ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm trying to simplify this. This perception means perception happens in the mind with colors, sound, taste, smell, touch, and thoughts. These are the objects that develops the experience, mental objects. Color, sound, taste, smell, touch, thoughts. These are the things that is being presented to the mind, and then mind arises and passes away. These are the feelings. Feelings. You feel colors. Color has to be there. Then you recognize the color. Do you understand this? Right? I'm going to elaborate this process more to get that this will make you to understand easily what is the perception means, how this perception works. Right. When colors being presented to the mind, right, then what happens after that colors being presented to the mind, then there should be
interpretation,
sensing, right? There should be a sensing, and then recognition.
Would that be like someone saying, like a gut feeling?
Yeah, that you have to sense colors first. You have to sense something happened. In your mind, the sensing happens.
Seeing, hearing, smelling,
that sort of sense.
Oh, sorry.
Sensing, right? And then recognition, right? Recognition. And after that, what happens? After you recognize, you take the decision. Right? It's not you're taking the decision. Decision happens. Right? So now what happens? What is this? A marker, right? Pen, right? What happened here is, in your mind, pen perception happens. Right? Light and these electrons, protons, neutrons, and your eyes, your brain get together, and then what happens? That triggers the perception of a pen. Recognition of a pen, and then decision of taking decision in the mind. Okay, this is a pen. This process cannot generate any heat. This process cannot generate any pressure. This process is the coolest process in the world. Pure and pure and pure. So you have a pure mind. But the thing is, because of this terror, you have this pure mind. But because of this ignorant process, because of that this crazy process that underneath, I'll show you, that triggers the expectation and a release. That triggers the pressure, mental pressure.
What's the difference between recognition and decision?
Because recognition, you need previous memories. Because when you see this, when colors are happening in the mind, right, then you have to match with the previous memories. In image recognition in the computers, if you know IT, right? Initially, what they are taking the whatever the signal, and they are going to the databases. They collect all the data and then analyze. Right? So here recognition means it includes the recognition and analysis, right? And we can say analysis and then decision. So decision is the end of your mind. So whole this process we can say this is the mind. Minding moment. Do you get that point?
Yep.
Clear?
Clear.
minding moment. So in Buddha's teachings, they have given different names, Pali terms. Our language, we have different names, but I have used a simplified terms that you can easily understand, right? Okay, so online listeners, this is what Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankara Vijnana, okay? So don't worry about that. In the Buddhist detox retreat, I explain it in a different way. So this is this card pack is now working in this way, right? Now what happened here? These are the mental objects and this is the mind. This process happens. Imagine if you are trying to find something that does not exist, what will happen to you?
Go stir crazy. Where is it? Where is it?
Yes. Exactly, madam.
Yeah. You'd be drilling back in for some recognition, something that can hook in, that you remember, that you understand.
Okay, let's say like this. Let's say Santa Claus, right? You are expecting Santa Claus. Is there a Santa Claus?
Yes.
No, it's a concept. It's a concept. It's a conceptual character.
Some man in a red suit.
That's not Santa Claus, right? The earlier Santa Claus is green color.
Green, yes.
Yes, and because of the Coke advertisement, it turns red.
Yeah, because of Coca-Cola. Thanks, Coca-Cola.
Earlier, the Santa Claus, yes, green color.
Sometimes gold,
Sometimes gold and sometimes green, right?
He's a saint.
And it's skinny.
It's a
Saint
spiritual being.
Nicholas. Yeah.
It used to be skinny too.
Right? So, Santa Claus doesn't exist. Let's say you have a kitten. Let's say you have a kitten and he is expecting Santa Claus. Right? You know, what is the idea that he has? He has an idea Santa Claus is a real character. He exists.
Physical person, yes.
A physical person, and that person exists in this world. That's the idea that he has. Got it? Right. Now he has an idea, Santa Claus is there. Right? Is it something that is there or something not there?
Physically not.
Physically not there, but now he has an idea, but it is there. That means, is it a right idea or wrong idea?
Right idea.
No, it's a wrong idea because he thinks it's a physical person. So, yeah.
Wrong idea.
It's a wrong idea. You know, it's a wrong idea because now he has a wrong idea because he thinks that Santa Claus exists. But actually Santa Claus doesn't exist. Got it? Now what happened? Because of that wrong idea, now there's an expectation. There's a wanting to experience the Santa Claus.
So you try to stay awake, but then you fall asleep before Santa Claus comes.
Exactly. Now you're longing for Santa Claus. Right?
Instead.
Because of this, now wanting happens. Now there's a wanting to experience Santa Claus. Where's Santa Claus? Where's Santa Claus? Now you're looking for Santa Claus. Where he is? Where is he? Right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where expectation happens.
And mental pressure.
And mental pressure. Exactly. Now mental pressure happens because of what? There's an expectation of something that does not exist. This is the wrong idea that he bears right now. Now he is expecting a wrong thing, expecting something that's not there. As a result of that, vexation start to experience.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about this poor boy, right? I'm not talking about yourself yet. Okay? We will come to you and why you feel that then you will understand it.
What if he's longing for a person who really does exist? There's still an expectation.
You don't have to, because if something is there, you don't have to expect because it's there. If
Well, maybe he has a favourite aunt who comes every Monday, and then just before they come,
They don't come.
they expect them to come.
no, think that this thing is something.
Single parent family.
If some, let's see whether they come. Okay,
There's millions of
Expectations,
right? Try to understand this process. Then you will realize this.
yeah.
This is the principle I'm talking about, right? There's a wrong idea. As a result of that wrong idea, there's a longing, there's a wanting, there's an expectation, there's a mental pressure arises in the mind, right?
So it's an incorrect belief
Incorrect belief triggers
triggers the
wanting,
pressure.
wanting and the pressure, right?
unrealistic and unrealistic expectations.
Okay, now what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Mental pressure goes to the maximum that mind can tolerate, right? You know, after the maximum level of mental pressure, what will happen to that boy's mind?
Depression.
Depression, and if you go beyond that,
Anxiety.
not anxiety.
Death.
No.
Stress.
No. There,
Disappointment.
no.
You'll find something else.
No, there's a safety mechanism in the mind that artificially elude.
Give up.
No,
Transformation.
you know what happened to this boy? Next day morning, when father wakes up,
He gets the present.
he's saying, no, he's now taking a brick and saying, you know, yesterday Santa came and he gave me a chocolate and showing a brick. Now what happened? Because of the mental vexation, because it goes over the limit, it made crazy, right? And now he's gone crazy. Now he can see a chocolate out from a brick.
Illusion.
Now he is eluding that Santa came and gave a chocolate. It's not chocolate brick, right? In the reality it's a brick, but now he feels, no, there's a chocolate. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to go through this again and again, and you will find, you will realize it again and again. Okay? Because this is so, I mean, it's very nice to go through this again and again and again. Because more you go through this process, you will learn it. You will go deeper and deeper into realization. What happens to you, ladies and gentlemen? Because I have discussed this thing with them. That's why I'm telling this.
So it's a distorted reality.
Yes. Now what happens? There's an illusion of Santa Claus. You feel, you know, I mean, this is something mind has to undergo. Artificially it has to create a sense, right? Special sense of what? Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Because that does not exist.
That's why they've created AI.
Right.
It's going to have a field day.
Yes. It's something you create, something illusion that has to happen in the mind to experience. Because have you seen crazy people? You know, people who is in the mental hospital, you know, they can elude things, right? Delusion, right? Okay, this is an artificial sense. Is this sense is something true or false?
In his mind, it's true.
In his mind it's true, but in reality is it true or false? It's a false.
It's all about perception.
It's a false sense. It's a false sense, ladies and gentlemen.
But what if he's happy?
He's happy. You know what?
wanted.
No.
The bubble burst.
No.
actually.
Now. This is the thing. Now he is happy. You know why? It's not happy actually, ladies and gentlemen. Because of the expectation, it triggers the mental pressure, and because of the illusion, now that pressure release. Now he is deceived that he is happy. Actually, it's not happy. It's the release of the mental pressure.
It's relief.
It's a relief, that pressure that develops in the process and release. Psst. It's like pressure cooker release the pressure. Psst. Whew. Now tell me, is it something a true happiness or is it a false happiness?
It's an artificial happiness.
It's an artificial happiness. But the thing is that happiness is also not a happiness. You know why? Because that's a relief from this pressure.
As long as he feels he's getting a payoff, he'll keep doing it.
Okay, now what happened? Okay, now this is the thing. When you feel this false sense, it confirms this idea. Okay, Santa exists. Next day night also, he is expecting Santa. He's gone through this crazy process again, and he will feel. Next day morning, he is taking a something basket or something and saying, okay, Santa Claus gave this thing to me.
Trying to eat the basket. Okay, yeah.
Right? So that means, ladies and gentlemen, this process keeps happening again and again and again and again, because whatever the false sense is now nurturing the wrong idea. As the result of that, this wrong idea is being implemented or created in the mind because of the mental vexation. It's when it goes to the top level, over the limit, it creates this illusion to experience this false sense.
Is that like a drug that it keeps getting worse?
Exactly.
Because they're not getting the hit or the payoff? Yeah. Oh my God.
This is there with your mind right now as well. This process is happening to the maximum level right now as well, but we don't know it.
If the bubble bursts and they realise it's a false sense, are they likely to start attacking the premises behind the wrong thought?
Yes. Yeah.
Start burning Christmas cards with pictures of Santa Claus on it because it was all a big lie.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
Now, I'm going to explain it. Right? You don't have the idea of Santa Claus. Right? You have a different idea. It's not the Santa Claus.
Retail therapy now.
Yeah.
Right.
I can see it coming.
Yes.
Right? You have a different idea. You know what you have. Ladies and gentlemen, things that you have brought, right? They are things, isn't it? Things means the things that you brought to your life, they are unique entities, isn't it? Unique things. When you go to Kmart,
You like them, but you don't really need them.
right? You are trying to find unique designs. Unique. If everybody is wearing the same one, you don't like it. You're vexing for uniqueness. You need an identity. You always need an identity. Meaning. Meaning comes with an identity, uniqueness.
If you want an identity, then you want to be part of something that other people are part of.
Yes.
And that's not unique.
Yes.
But you know, to be
Okay.
stand away and still have meaning. Yeah.
Okay, see, when you name this as a pen, that means there should be a pen here to name it as a pen, isn't it? Otherwise, what is the purpose of names? I mean, naming process is something worth if that thing exists, isn't it? You name me as Mahinda Thero, okay? When you name me as Mahinda Thero, then there should be me exist here to name in that name, like to give that name as Mahinda Thero. You name this as what? Glass of water, because there's a glass of water. You know, glass of water is not a pen, isn't it? Why you have given so many names, ladies and gentlemen? You have given so many names to identify different things. I'm doing it very slowly because I want you to think. Okay? You have given so many different names because that is to refer, that is to recognize, that is to point it out, that is to notify that these are different entities, uniqueness. That's why you have first name and the surname. Why? That defines the uniqueness of you. If your surname and your first name also same as everybody, then what will happen to you? Confusion. For example, let's say, like when you come to, like when you enter this room, right, you can see your face everywhere. What will happen to you? If you can see your same face, everybody has the same face, then what will happen to you? No.
So you start looking at other
Yes.
identifiers like smell or size or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, that means, ladies and gentlemen, you have a vexation to identify yourself as a unique entity. Right? You have because you have given names to these entities, you have given names to the entities. Right?
Descriptions.
Right? That's why this is a whiteboard, this is a pen, and this is the this is Bulbul, right? Remember? Detox retreat, huh? And this is what, glass of water, right? And this is what, DJI, whatever the microphone, right? You have given so many names to notify, to identify entities. That means, ladies and gentlemen, you have a sense of entities. You sense there are entities. Do you understand this? Right? You sense there are entities. Let's see there are entities or not. If there are not entities in the world, then what will happen?
But I'll be dead.
No.
We'll get bored.
Because you get bored. Yes. Because you sense an entity.
Oh, we'll create them.
You can't create it. Let's see.
We can pretend.
What is this?
You can create it with your mind though, like Santa Claus.
Exactly. Okay. This is the burger. A patty, a cheese, and lettuce, and the burger. Buns. Okay. Can you see a burger?
No.
Hot dog.
Image of it. Representation.
Okay.
Salivate.
Right?
Salivating.
You name this as a burger because you feel there's a burger in the burger.
What do you mean a burger in the burger?
Because you feel there's an entity there. That entity you refer to as burger.
You've created.
You created something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have created an entity. You are giving a name to that entity that you have created. Right? Now tell me, Is this bun is the burger?
It's a component.
No, it's a part of the burger. Is this bun is the burger? No.
Component.
Is this patty is the burger?
Yes.
Part of.
No, part of.
Yeah.
Is this cheese is the burger? No, part of. All what exist here are parts. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a party. It's not an entity, it's a collection.
Yeah.
Right? So the naming process that you have given actually not to the entities, but for this collection. None of these components are like not making a burger. There's no amalgamation here. This bun and this bun, whatever the cheese and patties and lettuce and all these things, collectively you can refer to as burger. But is there a burger here?
Yes, because all the parts have come together.
Come together. Come together doesn't mean it make one thing, because it's a collection.
Well, it's an identity, isn't it?
Huh?
It's an identity.
If you say it's there because your perception is that it's
Yeah. You know what? Your perception keep telling, no. There's a burger.
Yeah, it's identity. You identify.
You identify a thing because, throughout your,
It's an object.
since you were born, you have been identifying entities.
So it's object.
Right? You think there's an object here.
we objectively
And the burger is a form of cells.
Yes.
We learn in science.
You think there's an
This burger
object.
is a cell.
Yes.
It nourishes the cells of our physical well-being.
Exactly. You think,
Oh, God, I
right?
can't believe I said this.
So you think there's
That's
an,
true though.
you think there's an object. One entity, one thing. One thing.
It's a bunch of stuff.
But it is not one thing, it is a collection.
Yeah. It's
So
it just,
then you can't say it is a collection, because it, when you refer it, you feel what? Entity.
My hand is bones and muscles and skins and things.
Exactly. Your hand is actually not an entity, it's a bunch of things, collection.
Yeah.
This is a collection. So you can't say this is a collection because these are collection.
My mind, goes to think, well, is anything an entity then? Because
it's
According to
components.
quantum
Yeah.
mechanics, no, it's all a bunch of
We will explore. I mean, this is not, we have so many time. Let's explore. Right? What is this?
2 pens, V.
V. Is this pen is V part of the V?
Yes.
Is this pen part of the V?
Yes.
Yes. When these two come together, it creates the V, right? Is there an entity letter called V here, or two parts collection, like combine, like coming together? It's a collection. It comes together. That creates the effect of V. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever the mind is sensing is not an entity. It's an effect of causes come together. Causes are coming together that create an effect. That effect is also not an entity. That effect is also causes.
Yes.
You can't.
It's not just an object.
Yeah, okay. Let's say if you get rid of this patty, right? Now would you call it as a burger? If you get rid of the bun, top part of the bun, would you call it as a burger? No, right? That means to call it as a burger, you need to have all the components, right? That means burger is an effect that consists of what? Causes. So, what is not there is an object, an entity.
So does identity come from an entity plus an idea? Identity.
Yes, right? Identity comes because of the wrong idea that keeps telling you, that keeps showing you an entity. Because you are sensing there's an entity.
So that chocolate is an object, but my reaction to it, shall I eat it or something? It's an action. It's a cause. Looking at it causes me to think about what that is.
Okay, think about this. Now I'm going to tell you different names. Think about how do you feel it. One entity. You feel that one is an one letter, one thing, right? Butterfly, cat, umbrella, book. Don't you feel that sensation, whatever the entity sense you experience, you have it. Every perception is ending with that entity sense.
Yeah. The idea. Yeah.
Right? All the perception. Butterfly, when you say butterfly, in your mind it creates butterfly is something, an object, something and one thing. See? Now tell me. Okay. Sorry. Right? Is there a butterfly? Oh, it's a collection of stuff.
It's a collection.
It's a collection. But is there an entity called butterfly there?
Not a real butterfly, an image of a butterfly.
Image, but when you say image of butterfly, that image is also not an entity because it's collection of parts.
Yeah.
It's a collection. Right? The thing is, this is not butterfly, this is also not butterfly, this is also not butterfly, this is also not a part of butterfly, this is also not a part of butterfly. You know what? This is not a part of butterfly. This is also not a part of butterfly. This is also not a part of butterfly. It's bits and pieces. Bits and pieces doesn't have any meanings. When it comes together, then still also there's no meaning. But because of this entity sensation, sensing of this, the sense that you have, you think, no, there's an entity. That is why butterfly, that is why you have given that name. Let's see. I'm going to show you this. A flower. This is tree, yeah? Is this flower belongs to this tree?
Yes.
That's what you think, right? But actually, flower is not belongs to tree, because flower, whatever the leaves, branches, stem and everything comes together, that is, all these combinations create the sense of tree. Right? In order to sense a tree, you need to sense all these components. Components get together, then that creates a sense of tree. So that means branches are not belongs to tree, right? Branches helps to give rise to a tree. You know, this is not a part of we. This is also not a part of we. When this come together, right, that create an effect of we. That doesn't mean that now this is part of we. There's no meaning of here.
I was wondering if we could have a little 10-minute break, or was that awkward?
Because you can have it and come, because I'll doing this practice.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So this is something like, you know.
No,
So this is what? 1. Right? 1. Right? And now what is there?
12.
What? I didn't write
What are
12.
individual
Wait. I didn't write 12. I wrote 2.
And 1.
I wrote 1 and I wrote 2. Then you are saying 12 is there. Where's the 12?
Because that's what we identify the two.
Wait. Where's the 12? Is it 12?
Yeah.
No, this is 1.
It's 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Right? Then 12,
There's no comma there, so.
right? When you are saying 12, right? You are referring to an object, right? But there's no object here, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a collection. All the, you know, that this Theosophical society, you can see there's no word there. It's an arrangement of letters. It's a collection. There's no word called entity existing there. But when I say Theosophical, you feel from bottom of your heart, you feel one thing.
Do you feel different?
This is the practice video. Because you are now, what happens to you, madam, ladies and gentlemen? What actually exists in the world is actually, there's no entity, they are collections. This Mahinda Thero is also a collection, see? It's an arrangement. All the words and things that you have given, the names that you have given, take them, everything are collection. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, people have given a name called Mass. You know, Mass means a collection.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, in the church you are referring to as what? Gathering. Mass. Church mass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that means a collection. Even an atom is also not an entity, it is also a collection, right? And if you take out electron, that is also can breakable, it is also not an entity, it is also a collection. Protons also a collection, neutrons also a collection. That means, ladies and gentlemen, none of this world, there's no zero entities exist in this world. But don't you have an experience of entities in your minds?
Yeah. It's an illusion.
It's an illusion. It's an illusion. That means you are living with this illusion each and every moment. See, when I say hello, you feel hello means what? Hello. 1. I can't say hello. You know what I said? These are fragments.
Of vibrations.
Vibrations come together. You know, your mind is your minding. The minding process is actually collecting all the fragments get together, and this process of sensing process has a characteristics of collecting things. Your mind can collect. Your mind can collect and perceive. That's how you perceive this as a pen. Because when you are focusing on the top part, you can't focus on the bottom part. When you are focusing on 1, you can't focus on 2. When you are focuses on 2, you can't focus on 1. 1 perception happens and passes away. 2 perception happens and passes away. Then memories brings together to create 1 and 2 together. Then you name it as what? 12. But that name is consist with that both memories. There's no 12 there. You know what happened? When you see 1, right? Okay, I'm here, I'm showing you how mind works, okay? This is the perception of 1. And then when you see 2, there's a perception of 2. Right? Actually, this happens like this. When you see 1, perception happens and passes away. And when you see 2, perception happens and passes away. And then the next moment, it brings all the memory together and it aligns each other in your minding process. Right? Now you collectively name this as what? 12. Right? The 12 naming process also bringing memories of 12. 12. 12 means what? Again, 12. Different fragments of vibrations. Okay, then these are those 12 memories. Previous memories of recognition. Right? You know what happens? After this happens, right? There's another perception happens in your mind that covers all these perception in the middle. This black color represents whatever that happens here. A false sense of entity.
Artificial constructs.
You have a sense of entity. You have a sense of entities. Right? This black color is something artificially created in the mind because there's a strong belief in the mind, entities exist. So in order to create this, the shell, the coverlet, whatever the cover, right? The mind has to go through this vexing process, the defilement process to create that experience, an artificial experience, a false.
Why is it vexing to put them together?
You know what? Because nothing. It's not an entity. I mean, there's no. Okay, is there an entity or is the collection again still? Is it an entity or is it a collection?
Well, 12 written together.
But even though it put together.
It represents 10 because the 1 is in the 10 space.
Yeah, but even though 1.
2, so it represents a collection of 10 things plus 2 things
Yeah, it's a collection. 1 and 2 bring together. It cannot, like, it's like this. when you say 1 cent by 1,
The example of Santa Claus, like they were longing for Santa Claus.
then you are longing.
Santa Claus doesn't come, and so therefore there's a vexation, and then something's created.
Yes,
Right.
something like happened here. You know what happened?
I'm not longing for anything when I see 12.
No, there's a longing happens. You don't feel it. You don't sense it because that's something there since you were born. It becomes your norm. You have a wrong idea. Entities are there. Now there's a longing for entities in the mind. As a result of that, there's no entity and it is creating an artificial sense. That sense is now telling you there's an entity. That's why,
We long for entities because we want to make sense of reality.
yeah, that's why you feel that it's real. You feel it's real, it's there. Right? You feel 12 is something there, 12 is something exists. This is a false sense of existence. False sense of existence.
It's a false sense of separation as well.
Separation, yes. Separated entities.
Yeah.
Uniqueness. A false sense of uniqueness is created now.
Or they call it a false sense of security.
Security, yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Have you seen a coconut? Like coconut or apple? Apple. In an apple, outer layer, you can experience it as like one thing, right? Because of the outer layer, it is hiding what is inside, right? Because of the outer layer, it hides what exists inside, right? Outer layer, you feel it, you feel outer layer is as one thing. It's very polished, right? But actually, outer layer is also made out of what? Cells, lignins, and all different components. Inside is also cells, like it's consists with different juice and all these sort of chemicals inside, and it's a collection. Outer layer also not a surface, it's not one thing, it's a collection, right? This is something like that, isn't it? Even in your mind also, you feel that entity in this cover.
So when you talked about the apple on the outside and it's hiding what's actually inside, then I pictured the peeler. The apple
Peeling to see the inside. Okay, now what happened today in this session, I peeled off the cover from your mind to show you that actually even though you felt as entities, they are now entities, they are collections.
That's how I'm sort of saying it.
Yes. Right? That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you feel that every naming process that you have given, you feel that thing is there. You feel there's a pen in the pen. Pen thing in the pen. But it's not
it's
pen.
The bit on top that's hiding what's in.
Yeah, you feel there's an entity, something value, something exists there. But there's no thing. It's a false sense that you feel there's a thing. What exists are a collection. None of these atoms don't know, they don't have an agenda to be in a pen. They don't have an agenda. These atoms are just a collection, they stay there like, they don't have an agenda to make a pen.
You have a 5-year plan and life goals.
Then tell me, what is the purpose of your life as well? It's like this pen. You...
Providing you don't dry up, you'll be okay.
I mean, that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you think that you have done so many things. You You feel that you have achieved so many things. It's because of this mental vexation. Because of the mental vexation, and you feel entity, you feel, okay, something worth. Yes, let's do this. Because that you feel this worthiness. Worthiness experiences because of the relief of the pressure.
So if you get past
Necessity is the mother of invention, right? If you have to, you feel, when you invent something, you feel, okay, I created something. But have you created something or bring causes together? You brought causes together. You haven't created something. For example, when you go back to your kindergarten, like using building blocks, you say you show to your mom, say, mom, see, mom, I have created a building, or I have created a car. But you haven't created the car. There's no car in there. Huh? It's an aggregation, it's an arrangement, it's a combination, it's a collection of building blocks still. You can see there's a chair, right? Is there a chair or is it an arrangement? That that whatever the cushion is not representing a chair. You are the one who is given that value to that collection as a chair.
Perception.
It's a perception. Now tell me. Now tell me. Is this sense is a perception or a deception? This is a deception.
That's the great deception.
This is the greatest deception, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing is, you always have that in your mind each and every moment. This is something that you feel, something worth, something done, something you have done, something achieved, something you feel that it's worth, it's done. Yes, you can do it. You did something. No, you can't do anything because you can't create anything, because all the time what you're doing is like collecting, right? Because of the bonds, it's there. When bonds are not there, it collapses. Actually, that's why you have to maintain your life, because nothing can be fixed. That's why your body is also something you can't done. You can't say done. Why? You have to keep feeding it. You have to keep feeding it. You have to nurture it. You have to keep pumping it.
Sleeping, it's high maintenance.
Right?
I was complaining.
Well, it doesn't just happen.
Now tell me. Now this is the thing. If you get rid of this wrong idea out of your mind, by contemplating, by realizing that there are no entities. If you eradicate this underlying process, right, this red process out of your mind, by replacing the reality, by replacing the real idea, what really exists, then it will only be there, this blue color process. Right? This blue process is very coolest, and there's no pressure, there's no void, there's no mental vexation, there's nothing exists. It's a perception process happens. But you won't experience this if you get rid of this. That means you feel a pen, right? But you know there's no pen. It's something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen a mirage?
Yes.
In the mirage, you can see water, right? You can see water, but you know that there's no water because now you know it's a mirage, right? Is there a pen or there's a perception of a pen?
Perception of a pen.
That doesn't mean there's a pen here, because it's a collection.
And if you recognize it's all just collections,
Then you can't attach.
yeah.
Because attachment happens in your mind to things, not to collections. Because you feel, attachment, clinging happen in the mind to entities. You cling, clinging. Your mind is trying to attach to things. That's why people have given, your name is something to identify yourself. Yourself. This is the false sense of self. You can say, we can give different names, ladies and gentlemen, because you have named it as different way. This is yourself. Yourself is not a self. It's a perception of a self. It's a sense of a self, but sense is a force. Because there's no one person there. That's why since you were, go back to 5 years back. Like 5 years back, think about, is that the same person that you? 5 years back. The way you believe, the way you behave, the way you think, the thinking patterns are completely different. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not an entity, you are a process. That process keeps changing according to the environment, according to the people who associate, according to the environment that you put yourself in there. At that moment, that changes. Evolving has to be there. Like, ladies and gentlemen, if the evolving process means there's no entity. If there are entities, you can't evolve.
So you said attachment is what leads to suffering. So I'm attached to my wife. So you're saying I should unattach?
No, you don't have to unattach wife. You need to find out where's the wife. When you realize there's no wife, then there's no attachment. There's no attachment in the mind. But you know what happened? You will do all your duties and obligations. This is the thing. It's like a novel. Now, novel doesn't have a story. It consists with letters. Right? Novel is the effect of the letters.
So also, if you identify something as an entity, you expect it to stay the same.
Exactly. Let's say you made a curry. You made something. You made something. See? That sentence has all entities. You made, done, like something, work, that one work, made a burger. Burger. See? All your sentences are defiled with what? Entity feelings. Ladies and gentlemen, your mind is completely a defiled process because of this wrong idea.
And if it's all just a collection of stuff, and we're all part of a massive collection of stuff, there is no separateness. It's just all.
Thank you, madam. I think your thinking is great. Like, this is what I have to understand. Now, we all feel that we all are different entities. But now think about we all are collections. Now try to find anything that unique within yourself that defines you. That is not there with the others. No, your blood and my blood and your body, whatever the flesh, and you eat whatever the rice and curries and carrots and leeks, beetroot, potatoes that you had. We all have the same thing.
But every fingerprint is unique. Every fingerprint is unique.
Every fingerprint, it's a pattern.
It's a collection.
Fingerprint, you feel fingerprint is unique because you feel fingerprint is as one. But is it one or is it a collection? What I am telling you is, ladies and gentlemen, there's no identity. Right? Because identity happens because of the wrong idea of entity. See, that's why it says identity.
But your thoughts only occur to you. They don't
But is there any separation? There isn't
What thoughts? What are thoughts?
Who's you and who's him?
entity
Word.
as
Words,
Images.
images, that means colors, sound. Right? Fragments.
The blue.
That is also fragments, collections. That means there's no my thought, there's no your thought. There are thoughts in the world, there are colors in the world, sound, taste, smell, touch, mental objects are there, and because of the defiled minds start to experience that mind itself as an entity. You know, this is the greatest deception, ladies and gentlemen. Mind feels that mind as an entity. You know, there's no entity in the mind, because mind is a collection of all these memories and colors and sound, taste, smell, touch, thoughts.
So if you're thinking, why doesn't my brain remember where I left the keys or whatever, it's defining itself as an entity, whereas it actually isn't.
Isn't?
Yeah, it's
Because your experience... okay, I can go deeper, because this is I'll try my best, right? When you think about eating a piece of cake, you know that experience is not an entity, because that experience consists with color perceptions, like taste perceptions, tactile perceptions, even sometimes very sound perception. When you eat chewing, like you feel the tactile perceptions. Ladies and gentlemen, eating a piece of cake is not eating a piece of cake. It is a collection of all perceptions.
There's thoughts as well. When
and
you
that's thoughts as well.
The
yeah,
thoughts as
it's
well.
interesting, yeah.
That's well. Everything.
Because there's no, you know, that's the funny thing. There's no taste bud to taste cake taste. You know, taste bud experience sour, sweet, whatever the four taste. Cake taste is a collection of those different levels of salt, sour, sweet, sour. There's no cake taste. There's no taste of chicken. You know, chicken doesn't have chicken taste. See? I mean, chicken doesn't contain chicken taste. It's a combination of molecules. Your mind feels different perceptions. That combination, that collection you refer to as what? Chicken. So chicken taste is not chicken taste, it's a collection. That means, ladies and gentlemen, all your experiences are not actually entities. It's a combination, the collection process. Your mind is a process of collection. Your mind is collecting things, and you know, it can't hold it. That's why you can't keep this sound with you. See? Can you keep it? No. Can you keep this sound? Can you keep it? No. It's like you need to always rotate the dynamo in order to keep the light bulb on. In order to keep the light bulb on, you need to rotate the dynamo. That means you have to keep doing things to keep sensing business. That means whatever that brings to you is actually, this process doesn't have any problem, ladies and gentlemen. Perception process is okay. It's a collecting process. But because of this wrong idea, there's a void, there's a vexation, there's an expectation to experience an entity. Now think about, when you have cravings, this is the application part. When you have cravings, think about, you are craving for one thing. See, in your mind, let's say you crave for pizza. You want to eat a pizza. You think pizza, I want a pizza. That pizza means what? Collection or entity? No, you feel an entity. That's why you feel that void, mental vexation. When you are eating a pizza or are you eating You can't say you are eating, because eating experience also what? Not you are eating. It's a collection.
And you eating is a collection of pizza, the process of eating, yourself, and it's all become another collection.
Collection.
Yeah.
Right? Because of this cover, you feel, no, it's an entity. But the secret thing is, this cover is also a collection. You know, sense of self is also a collection.
It's funny in our vocabulary we use the term entity, don't we? You know.
Not even the vocabulary, all the naming process, the names that you have given, you refer to entities, ladies
Given
and
it
gentlemen.
labels, yeah.
Theosophical society,
Collections.
entity, you feel it, right? Huh? Theosophical society is not only, your name is Judy. Judy is not Theosophical society, right? This cupboard is not Theosophical society. This wall is not Theosophical society. Even that badge you can see that. So Theosophical society is not a Theosophical society. It's a collection, complexation. Yes.
Can I ask a question? So I totally understand it, but say I've got pizza and I actually understand that pizza is a collection, but I still want the pizza.
Now that means that when you, what happened here, sir, you see, you know that it's a collection, but you don't feel from your bottom of heart it's a collection, because the void is still happening. The mental vexation happens because you feel entity. Even when you're eating, you feel, I had one bite.
So what's the goal? To not feel hungry?
No, do not. The goal is to eradicate this false sense of entity by replacing the right idea. That is the meditation Buddha found, ladies and gentlemen. The Buddha found a meditation technique to replace this idea, entity idea, with the collection. And he explained, go and check everywhere, you will find out collection.
Whole universe.
Collapse everything and see, dislocate and see what is there, then you will find the reality of the world. When you contemplate it again and again and again, slowly this process will liberate, like eliminate it. As a result of that, now if you don't have this process, there won't be any pressure in this process, because this is very smooth process.
So what happens then when you eat a pizza and you don't identify with the pizza?
You know, you will identify. No, this is what I said. Still you will feel pain. You won't stop any feelings. Pain feeling happens, right? But you don't feel it as an entity. This happens. This is.
What difference does it make when you eat it? What difference does it make when you eat it?
No, you can eat it.
You can eat it.
You can eat it.
Well, what are you eating?
You're not attached to it.
You can't. Ladies and gentlemen, this is so funny, right? This is not something that you don't have to change any actions, ladies and gentlemen. Because I live this world. See, even though I'm practicing this, I am living this world normally. I'm a normal person, right? But in my mind, I always doing that, the realization process.
So if you find yourself longing for a pizza, how do you stop that longing?
By realizing where's the pizza.
Eat a piece.
By realizing where's the pizza that you want.
You can eat the salad and think of the pizza.
I realise
But you're longing for pizza, right? Now in that moment your mind is filled with that entity feeling. Pizza is an entity, pizza is an entity, pizza is an entity. That's why you're longing. You're not longing for pizza, ladies and gentlemen. You're longing for entity feeling. That's so deep.
So you can have it
Because-
as it's not all together. Just put the components and eat them separately.
Okay, I mean sometimes people do. Sometimes people get rid of all the chicken and all the part and they eat it. Eat the I have seen some people when they take a burger, they take out some part and they eat it.
Pickles
Okay.
or something.
Separate it all. 𝗘𝗃𝗧 𝗴𝗍𝗆.
Then people say made in Australia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't. Nothing can be made. You know.
Nothing can be sorry.
It can be produced.
You know
maybe.
how futile, how meaningless of this word, right? Made in Australia. Nothing can be made. There's no entity called Australia. But you can still refer to that process as made in Australia. It's something like mirage.
Yeah, just understand it's just a.
Just to refer, you name it.
Yeah. It's
But-
a naming
Made in
convention.
Australia
Yeah.
thing probably doesn't think about being made.
Because I have been in the UK just like 2 months ago, and I have seen made in UK. This milk is UK milk, no, British milk, right? And then I was thinking,
But no milk can be.
How does a cow know?
Wait,
No
wait, wait.
milk can be. No, hang on. But no milk, no, because no milk can be identified as milk made in the UK because milk is milk.
milk is milk, exactly.
So
But,
it can't be milk
You've
from
just
Australia.
Phil,
or
you've just got it. You've just got
milk
it.
is milk.
Yeah.
but in the UK, people say British milk. And here we say Australian milk. And I've been there in New Zealand, they say New Zealand milk.
They do, they brand it.
You know the ironic thing is,
But
you look at if you buy water, scientifically, it's not possible for that to occur in the sense that hang on. It says on the bottle, expiry date, water does not go off.
Except if you leave it
It
in the sun.
vaporises, yeah.
But it doesn't technically go off.
No.
So this thing about the
Nor does
expiry
vinegar. Nor does vinegar.
So this
Things
thing
like
about
that.
the expiry date and vinegar and things like that doesn't go off.
No, neither does vegetable.
Shall I tell you a
know what I mean, no?
not only water, shall I tell you a secret? None of the periodic table.
That's right.
There are no elements.
That's right.
There are no elements in the periodic table.
That's right.
You know why?
That's a relief.
That's why I suppose that's what I was.
You know what? Hydrogen is consists of electron, proton, neutron. Actually, there's no proton. Okay, let's see. Electrons, protons. Helium, electrons, protons, neutrons. Lithium, electrons, protons, neutrons. Sodium, electrons, protons, neutrons. They are aggregations.
That was my big disillusionment when I found that out.
But the thing is, we perceive it as what? Elements, because all the living beings have this false sense of existence and false sense of self, false sense of identity.
I couldn't believe they were all made out of the same things when I found that out.
You know what? Electron. Proton has 1,039 times of mass of electron. That means electron, when you combine 1,039 times of electrons, are protons. Actually, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
If you Einstein. So this is my bread and butter those days. So, when I'm doing my PhD, I did chemistry and biochemistry and all these things. So Einstein, E equals mc squared. Mass is energy, energy is mass. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, mass is not mass. It's an aggregation of energy. This is a cloud of energy. This is a cloud of energy. Laptop is a cloud of energy.
And we are energy.
Exactly.
And therefore there is no separation.
Yes. Even
Okay, if we are energy, we all should be same. But because of this ironical, this elusive delusion, a sense of separation that you experience, a false sense of separation, that delusion, that deception keep telling you that you are not others, you are you, others are others. The funny thing is, in your mind, you also feel the sense of self, you also feel the sense of self, Your mind also itself feels the sense of self. All these sense of selves are identical twins. Identical. They don't have any difference. That means your me and my me, same.
Yeah, that's how twins are. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, two twin electron stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no difference between your me and my me. See? But we feel what? This is the problem of all
Your
wars.
experience of yourself must be different from my experience of myself.
What are experiences?
Maybe it's
How would you know?
Perceptions.
Perceptions. Okay. Fragments, right? Again, collections.
Well, the universe is a sea of energy, and it's all possible
They're
until
different
it collapses
combinations.
into probability.
Different combinations. Yes. I mean, you are now seated. Right? That's an aggregation of different combination of tactile sensations that story builds in your mind.
But it's like, okay. That's fine.
You know what?
But if
While
your
in sound.
combinations of perception are going to be different from my combinations of perception, how can you say that your sense of self is the same as my sense of self?
Because senses are aggregation of energy. Perception is also energy.
You said perception was called.
Okay, I'll explain it. Ability to do something is called energy, isn't it? Ability to do something is called energy. Okay, ability to perceive is also something doing. Then it should be energy. The finest aggregation level of energy is...
Before there was no heat in perception.
Huh?
Before you said perception is the coolest thing, there's no heat.
There's no heat. I mean,
It's perceiving what
energy process. There's no heat generating. Energy process. It's cool.
perceive the experience. It's not judgment, it's just perceiving the experience.
Each and every moment perception happens. Each and every moment perception happens. There's no pressure, there's no void, there's no aggregation, there's no agitation. It's coolest process, but because of this wrong idea, that created this false sense of self, the false sense of existence, as a result of that, it keeps happening. When Buddha says enlightenment means, ladies and gentlemen, eradicating this underlying process. As a result of that, there's no expectation, there's no mental vexation. As a result of that, your mind will be a smooth, it's like a piece of cake. No pressure, no mental vexation. This is our goal, this is my goal, and this is what we practice.
We've been sitting too long.
Mahinda, thank you.
Thank you very much for listening.
So
Yes.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.